Shut that door. I might need Wi-Fi.
Oh, you need the code.
I might.
Okay.
What's that?
Let me know if you need the Wi-Fi.
Okay. James isn't in yet.
Okay. Is it working with it where you are now?
Usually he'll pop in.
Let me see.
I think I can do it this way. It'll be fine.
I think, does he have to download anything? Or?
He shouldn't. She should be able to go just click on that link
That you sent him?
in his Instagram DM.
Did you find it, James, in your Instagram DM? He said he's in. So.
Okay, I don't see you. Oh, yeah. There you are. Hey.
I'm here.
Hi, James. Welcome.
Hey, Kara, thanks for having me.
Yeah. So one of the things that I adore about you is you're by far the best business coach I have ever had in my entire life. But I know, right? Hey, look at you, fancy pants. But I adore this whole spiritual side of who you are as well. So I'm really curious, like, how do you incorporate those things into how you run and operate your business?
Well, I start there with everything. To me, I see really my spiritual growth is all of my growth, So spirituality is really just a context through which I look at how I can grow as a person. It becomes the environment or the context through which I run my entire life. So everything is a lesson or a teacher, and it just offers a very different context for how things occur to me that is far more empowering. If you're growing spiritually, you don't really have a mindset of being like a helpless victim to your business anymore. Like, why does this always happen to me? Why can't I? You with a spiritual context, you start to go, oh, something here for me to learn. This is teaching me. This is preparing me. This is helping me grow. And then, of course, you the more you go on your spiritual path, the more you open up to anything that your perception or sense can perceive beyond 3D physical reality. So life and business becomes more than just doing. If I do more, if I work harder, if I work longer, I'll be more successful. And you realize from a spiritual context, it's like if I'm in more of alignment, if I'm in more of the proper vibration and frequency, then new ideas come to me, new relationships and new opportunities are attracted to me, and you start to begin to realize that your number one priority, your most important job, is to set or create that set point, so that you can attract and manifest more. And I look at that today and I go, man, you start combining all these things like intuition and manifestation and attraction and alignment. And you're like, no wonder you can do something for 17 years and not get burnt out. And I
Oh,
think burnout is trying to do something that your soul doesn't want you to do. And if you keep going against your being, your essence for too long, that higher aspect of you is going to win that arm wrestling competition, and that's going to end in burnout or breakdown.
and has that always been the case for you? Because for me, I really did go through that burnout to awakening in being in corporate America and now doing the
Yeah.
work. Has that also true for you, where when these things started clicking into place, your business and your world changed too?
Yeah, I had my 3D hustle phase and nothing was working. I spent 4.5 years working harder. I was like, I can work harder and longer than anybody. And so I did. And I was doing 14-hour days. I was taking a ton of caffeine. I was popping 20 milligrams of Adderall. And I had never been more broke in my life. And I was unhappy and I was frustrated and I just kept hitting a brick wall. And so, you know, I had people in my life and outside influences and beautiful synchronicities that started introducing me to another way and started opening me up to these distinctions. And I was at such a rock bottom that I was like, I really don't have anything else to lose. So why not, you know? And there's a lot of, like, I was a very big skeptic. I was very in my head, logical thinker, and a lot of people are really skeptical to this type of stuff. But at the end of the day, what is anyone really asking you to do except believe in yourself more, trust yourself a little bit more, and be a little bit happier? And that's what life is about anyways, right? Is no matter what's going on in your life, can we still find a way to be in our well-being as much as we can, to get the most out of every experience that we encounter, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So that started shifting. And at least what I had going for me was I was like a scientist. So I was experimenting with these things, and every little experiment that, you know, because if you come to an experiment objectively, you're not attached to the outcome.
Yeah.
So I started observing, and these little experiments were producing results. Like the more eased up on the grip. I wasn't white knuckling my life or my business anymore. I started getting out of my head a little bit more. I just started like trusting. I started paying attention a little bit more to how I felt. And it was really hard at first, and it was scary because it's like a muscle that's atrophied. And you just start kind of going beyond reason, going beyond logic, and like trusting yourself a little bit more. And all of a sudden, you get little ideas and little nudges and little hunches. And I would, like, this sounds crazy and this doesn't make sense, but I would follow those. And they were like little breadcrumbs. And, you know, long story short, you know, you do this for 16, 17 years. And now having that intuition and perceiving and managing energy on a daily basis, it becomes common for you. It's like making miracles your common, you know, day-to-day experience. But that took time to cultivate, of course, you know.
Yeah, that's actually one of the mantras I say every day. I loosen the grip and let the universe guide me.
Yeah.
So I like to be a control freak, and so many people are like, type A, I can do it. And so many of my listeners are that way too. So I would love if you could provide one place somebody could start. If they're like, okay, James, I kind of get you. I dig your coaching style. If I
Hmm.
could do one thing today to start shifting the way I show up and perceive things, what would you recommend they do?
I would say start with asking some better questions,
Oh, that's
some outcome oriented quality questions that require you to be in a quiet, receptive mode. And it's a new set of questions that I think will put you more in alignment with service, with purpose, and with the outcomes you actually want, no matter what type of business that you're doing. So, a lot of people don't understand this, Kara, but the things that you want most in business, money, more clients, sales, all that type of stuff, are on the effect column of life. And if you focus on the effects, then you can't see the cause. And so people go, I want to be famous. I want to reach more people. Those are all the effect or byproduct of something else. And if we shift the questions to get to the cause, then you're going to have those effects. So as simple as this is every day, instead of going, how do I reach more people? Or how do I get more customers? You can start going, what is it that my people need to hear from me today? What is it that my people are struggling with? How can I help someone today? What advice can I give to somebody? What's one thing I could do to make a difference for one person today? What's something I could share that will help another? And now you're reorientating your mind, because you are where your attention is, to what really will cause someone to build a business, which is focusing on how you can help first. And that's what I did over a decade ago, is what's something that will help someone today? What's a video I could teach on a topic today? What's going to help somebody, anybody, one person out there? What do my people need to hear from me? And it's funny because at first you might ask that question and you draw a total blank, like, well, I fucking know. But then over time, and it's usually at first like while you're in the shower or you're driving, you get like this light bulb idea. And the difference between people that are listening to you and I, Kara, and everyone else is most people get that idea and then they second guess it. Now, second guess it means they put it in their head. They receive something intuitively, divinely, and then they let their smallest thinking aspect, rational reasoning mind talk them out of it. Here's why that's stupid or silly or doesn't make sense. So you just received something and then you judged it. But if we sat in that question, received something that seems outside of your logical, reasonable mind, and just trusted that, you'd realize you're operating in alignment with things that you actually asked for that may exist outside of what the previous version of you would have ever done, if that makes sense. And that's how we grow, is we're accessing information beyond what's inside our brain, because that only got us to where we are right now. You can't, it's like, if this makes sense for people, it's really hard to use everything that got you here to go somewhere completely different. So you have to be willing to go beyond that. And so a lot of times my biggest ideas didn't even make sense to me.
Yep.
And I had to be like, well, that's what I'm receiving right now. It's like if you're like the classic example is like you're driving home and you kind of get this weird nudge to go left instead of right. Well, nothing about that makes sense. So do you always say, no, that's ridiculous? Or do you say, you know what? To hell with it. Let's go left and see what happens. And we should create more opportunities for that in our life
Yeah.
if we want to experience more growth and more miracles.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. I'm so
Yeah,
grateful
thank you.
for the time to talk to you, and I can't wait for everybody that doesn't know who you are to get introduced to you and just see the magic of how you coach and how you raise people's vibrations and help them really achieve the things that are set in their heart. So I am so grateful for spending time with you, and thank you so much, James.
Yeah, thanks, Kara. Take care, everyone.